All right, once again, it is on. We are back live at Watson Math and Science Technology Center right here in Garland, Texas. Willie Epteen Jr. holding it down. It's your boy, Shakeback Media Group. We are live in the building. We have the principal going to be stepping into the studio here in just a minute as we are participating in this wonderful event up here at Career Day. So, before we move any further, I already got to do this, man. I just can't. I can't get away from doing it. So let's go get it. Yes, sorry, buddy. You already know what it is. Back Media Group is a special edition of the OT. We are live, Garland, Texas, Watson, MST. Have the pleasure of bringing into the studio the ringleader, if you will. He is the principal of this wonderful institution of soon to be higher learning because it's already that because he's here. Let's just go ahead and bring on Dr. Adrian Leday. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me on the podcast.
Man, it is our pleasure. Thank you for having us out here. This is a privilege, and most definitely a pleasure. By the way, thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook Live, as well as YouTube and Twitter. I'm going to tag Watson and Garland ISD in this particular broadcast.
Please, and make sure to tag at GISD News. That's our Garland ISD page. They'd love to get this information out there about what we're doing here.
Yes. So let's talk about the information or what we're doing here. Explain to everybody out there that's watching what exactly is going on.
The year we're actually going to have two, and our objective is to invite out people from our community that have very different careers, educated, non-college educated, certified, every in our building can know or have goals about what they can be moving forward. We understand that education is vital and powerful, but we also understand that we want to make sure that our kids are going to be great citizens and able to contribute to our community. Come out, community members who come out. We're super excited about them sharing their stories so that our kids can make their own story.
So let's talk about because I had a conversation with Nurse Christie just a few minutes ago,
Okay.
and we were talking about the pandemic and the report card for the U.S. educational whatever you call it is out,
Yes, sir.
and it seems to be a little lower than what they would like for it to be.
Yes.
Talk about a little bit about how the pandemic has affected those numbers, and if they've had any significant effect here at Watson.
I will tell you that the greatest impact that it had on us is that we had to start getting creative.
Mhm.
But I think the benefit of the pandemic is it shook us up. We couldn't keep doing what we always did. We had to innovate. We had to find new ways to teach children, new ways to improve instruction and outcomes for our kids. So let me give you some numbers to back up what I'm talking about. The year before the pandemic, our rating for our campus was a 90, and we received 3 distinctions. Great performance, excellent work by all of our teachers and individuals who worked with us. However, I think the most important thing to say is that this year we came out with a 93, so 3 points higher, and 5 distinctions as opposed to 3. Now, it's not because of me.
Right.
It's because we knew that there was learning loss that took place, and our teachers took that charge seriously. They have an attitude on this campus, our teachers do, that, you know what? I don't have any excuse for why a baby can't learn. I can do more. We can do more. I can communicate with families. We can work with the student wherever they are, and we can make a difference for them. And so I cannot take credit for it. I've been blessed to oversee it. However, the phenomenal teachers walk in the building. They just do an outstanding job. And so for us, there wasn't learning loss. We made up that learning loss gap within the last 2 years.
Wow, that's extraordinary in its own right because of we had to make life changing decisions and life altering practices in our everyday daily walk
Absolutely.
almost immediately.
Mhm.
And I want to take you back to 2.5 years ago when this thing first started. I remember it's like it's like they say, do you remember where you were when? And
Yes.
I remember where I was when the announcements came that everything was shutting down and everybody was going to be doing things from home. Go back in time, not necessarily that you can go back in time, but go back in time in your mind to that point when you first got that news and how you had to share it with your staff.
Well, ironically, we were on spring break, and
Yes.
and when it first initial I'll say whisperings of it happening occurred, I was on a cruise. And so I'm on a cruise. It's March the 10th. I'm watching the president speak to the nation, and I'm thinking, oh my.
Mhm.
We get off the boat on March the 12th, and we think, oh my.
Mhm.
And on March 13th, it was announced that everything was shutting down. And that was a Friday. I'll never forget it. And I was told that I couldn't go back to my campus because I had to quarantine because I left the country.
Mhm.
So I couldn't be there for my staff when they were picking up their materials, when they were picking up items, and I felt helpless. I felt lost. And then we had to figure out, while the school's not coming back, not just for a week, but now we're not coming back for the rest of the year. We kept hanging on to hope that we'd come back, that we'd come back. Month after month, we were told, no, it's not going to happen.
Mhm.
And so it was very challenging because what we missed were our kids. We didn't recognize how important it was not only for them to see us, but for us to see them.
Mhm.
That caused some people to be sad. I mean, we had to do bingo nights and stuff amongst ourselves virtually to try and keep us motivated. My work as a principal changed from being an educational leader to being a motivational leader and having to provide support and inspiration to the teachers when they were feeling, goodness gracious, are we ever going to get a chance to come back? So I learned a lot. That was my first year as principal. And so walking into your first year not having a normal year, and then your second year not normal, third year not normal, and I've been told we're back to normal this year, but I wouldn't know. It's my fourth year.
Right.
So it was an interesting experience, but I'm so thankful that I made it through it, and I'm thankful for the staff because I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have kept my sanity throughout it if it weren't for this powerful team that we've got.
Awesome. And again, this is Willie Epstein Jr., Shakeback Media Group, OT version. I mean, we don't do just sports. I mean, life coaching, all that, and motivational part of it that Dr. Lede is speaking about. Of course, he's the principal of this wonderful institution of higher learning. Higher learning. So let me ask you that on the heels of the pandemic and what you stated about not really knowing what normal is. I asked the staff nurse or the school nurse the same course, a similar question in terms of activity around the school, extracurricular activities, things of that nature. As the leader of this particular institution, do you feel that we are either A, at a normal or at a new normal, or B, are we moving towards just trying to figure out and how to navigate through this stream of life right now?
What I'll say is I will say that we've entered into a new phase. And what I mean by that is there was a phase where we shut everything down due to COVID. We didn't know what it was. We didn't have enough information. There was so much panic out there. Then we moved into a phase of, well, COVID is still here. It's not quite gone yet, but we've got to start getting back. Then we're in a phase where we were saying, okay, we've got to live with COVID. Right now, we're in you've heard it on the news, the endemic phase of COVID's never going away. So let's get back to normal. Now, again, it is a new normal. There are some transitions and some changes that we've done in terms of how we practice education. But again, like I said before, COVID caused us to innovate. So what it has done for us is it's given us some skills that we didn't have before we walked in.
Mm-hmm.
So now, when it comes down to providing instruction, working with our kids who might be absent, now we have digital means to help them get contact and get them to stay focused with classwork. I myself, I have a high schooler and a fifth grader here.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that time, I've been able to, as a parent, hey, I can check Canvas. I know exactly what my kids are doing. So I'm able to be more engaged with what my children are doing, what's going on. I don't have to just depend on their words because, as you know, if you have ever had a teenager, sometimes they miss some information. I won't say that they mislead. I won't say they lie. Mine does, but I won't say that they do as a group.
5 teenagers.
Bless you.
Yes. We've had 5 of them. So they are definitely a different animal. I know you got to get to a meeting here in a couple minutes, so I
Yes, sir.
don't want to take up too much of your time. But
Yes.
my last question would be this: in light of everything that we have had to experience as parents, and you as an administrator and your staff as educators, what is the one thing that you look forward to with everything that has happened and the advances that have been made in technology for the field of education?
I look forward to that despite the fact that we've had improvements in technology, we have unabashed evidence that it's all about relationships. One of the things that we believe in at Watson is we call ourselves the family. And family stands for this: F is for focus on relationships first. A, accept responsibility for all students in the building. M, monitor all resources and make sure they're used optimally. I, inspect all plans and change when necessary. L, lead learning experiences that are relevant to our students. And then Y, yell and celebrate every success, no matter how big or small. And
That
so
is amazing.
what we have found out is that yes, we are a technology school. Yes, we have math, science, technology as part of our name. But you know what's the most important part of our name? Is family. The Watson family is what helped us survive the pandemic and come out of it stronger than when we went in. So it really is about relationships, despite all the technology, despite all the advancements, despite all the new curriculum or this, that, and that. What it boils down to is that relationship between the school, the child, and the family. When that's strong, there's nothing we can't do.
That's it right there. That's the 3 core strand that's talked about in the book that I read. And a 3-strand cord cannot easily be broken.
Yes, sir. That is correct. It's in
So
Proverbs, sir.
that's right. That's right.
Yes, sir.
All right, Dr. Lede, we appreciate your time. I know you got to get to a meeting. It was a pleasure. This is live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I will get you the links
Yes,
for
sir.
everything so you can do your thing with that. And I don't know about you guys out there that's watching, but it's making me want to go back to school just by everything they said.
We'll be glad to have you in the building anytime, sir.
All right, we appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's Dr. Day. He is the head man here at Watson, and as he stated, it's been challenging to say the least in terms of the pandemic. A lot of great things that he shared in terms of how they've had to innovate and do all those other things and to be able not just reach children but keep the children engaged. So um, we appreciate him stopping by. I think for everybody there that is that's in the educational system, this is something that you definitely could learn from and take some nuggets from a man that, as he stated, that was his first year as a principal, and for that to happen, that being the pandemic, to happen in his first year, you can only imagine the challenges that he had to face, not just within the school, but him personally, and how having to deal with all of this. And now, as you heard him say, their numbers, although we've seen the numbers across the board in the United States kind of trickle down over the last couple years, they've actually gone up here, Watson. So that is a tremendous credit to not just him, but the entire staff, the students, and the parents all involved. So, yeah, we still out here chilling at Watson MST rather. Thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook Live as well as YouTube and Twitter. Man, so much fun. I'm telling you. So fun out here. I think there's going to be another session of people coming through. So we're gonna go ahead and end now, and hopefully we'll be back here real soon. Hope you guys will continue to tune in with us, and make sure you hit that subscribe on YouTube for me. Please, it don't cost nothing. It don't cost nothing, y'all. Support. I'm asking that you guys also follow us on Twitter. Okay, we actually, Patrice Epting, who is the 4th grade teachers out here. She's the administrator of the video production team out here, and you may or may not know, but we have a coaching practice. So all those out there that will get wind of this, we are offering 20% off our services for the first